I decided to no longer wander too deeply into intelligence criticism on this channel, and instead focus on more localized conspiracy theories and urban legends. Indeed, mental patient folklore tells the story of the 76 mental patients that were murdered between 1989 and 2001 by the population of Devizes. Indeed, the orderlies recruited from Devizes at Roundway Hospital were some of the cruelest people that the mental patients encountered. Indeed, the population of Devizes are known for their extreme cruelty towards mental patients, as I experienced myself. Indeed, I was treated very cruelly by the population of Devizes, especially after I began to expose their town, which is what they will kill for. The population of Devizes will kill anyone who speaks out against the elders of Devizes and the town of Devizes. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, these 76 mental patients, some are operating alone and some operating in groups, had either escaped or been released from Roundway Hospital during the transition to Green Lane Hospital, which Roundway Hospital now goes under the name Green Lane Hospital. Indeed, these networks of mental patients had either escaped from or were released from Roundway Hospital or its successor Green Lane Hospital, and were attempting originally to expose the Project Mindgate MI6 mind control programs at the Roundway Asylum Gulag Institute system. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, various tortures were performed on mental patients at Roundway Asylum, including extreme electroshock, depatterning, psychic driving, ritual abuse, mind control programming of various formats, electrodes, electric prods, microchipping, all sorts of techniques that MI6's mind control programmers learned from Nazi mind control programmers and attempted to inflict on the mental patients there. Indeed, not all of the mental patients at Roundway were tested in this way. Indeed, it was only the highly intelligent, paranoid schizophrenics, psychotics, lunatics, insane people that were transferred to a separate wing known as the cloakroom on the edge of the Roundway Asylum grounds. And there this programming went on. Indeed, many mental patients were actually ritually sacrificed by Masons connected to the Masonic lodges and Devizes. So it's all very interesting to note that Roundway Asylum was a Masonic ritual sacrifice site, coordinated at top levels by the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Roundway Asylum also hosted several KGB mind control programmers who were transported from the Soviet Union to participate in rituals and mind control programming at Roundway Asylum. However, the majority of the staff were MI6 operatives. So it's all very interesting to consider. This was basically a black site. The cloakroom at Roundway Hospital was a black site for MI6 Mindgate mind control programming. It's all very interesting to note. And during the years 1989 to 2001, several programmed mind controlled mental patients escaped or were released from this terrible institution and started attempting to expose the Mindgate mind control programs. In the process of doing so, they discovered that the Wiltshire police were running an enormous cartel involving organ harvesting and child rape. And so they began trying to expose the entire town of Devizes. Indeed, while I was living in Devizes, I came across the remains of one of these mental patients sticking out of the ground. And I'd already heard of the folklore surrounding this story. I'd heard tidbits of information about this tale. And so I basically had to spin into action and begin to expose the town of Devizes. Indeed, it is every mental patient's duty to expose the filth that occurs in Devizes, which is a combination of mind gate, mind control programming, torture mechanisms on mental patients, child rape, and an organ harvesting and organ trafficking syndicate being run by Wiltshire Police out of the Walter Rose and Sons butcher's shop. Indeed, the victims that are slaughtered by the Walter Rose and Sons butchers are themselves often mental patients who are homeless and other homeless people who are transported from all around the country and also the US to Walter Rose and Sons butcher's shop. Indeed, it's interesting that a lot of the homeless who are disappearing in the United States at the moment are ending up at Walter Rose and Sons butcher's shop on the butcher's slab, being sacrificed to the Masonic demon gods of the butcher Freemasons, and their meat is sold as pork in Walter Rose and Sons butcher's shop, and they are then cut up and their organs are harvested by the butchers and then trafficked via networks of Albanian mafiosi who are in the direct employ of Philip Wilkinson, i.e. the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operative operating out of Wiltshire Police Headquarters, who is Wiltshire Police Crime Commissioner. So he controls basically the entire police networks for the entire county, and he therefore controls all of the syndicates that link up to the Wiltshire Police Headquarters in Devizes. And indeed, this kind of connection had been made by these 76 mental patients between the years 1989 and 2001. They had linked everything up because highly intelligent paranoid schizophrenics are able to link things in a way that the normal mind cannot. So it's interesting to note we make incredible intelligence operatives that we would never be accepted by any intelligence agency, especially not British intelligence, as the British intelligence services are a Masonic network, and the Freemasons hate schizophrenics more than they hate anyone. Indeed, in 1993, Moonraker Lodge was set on fire by an arsonist who was a mental patient named Benjamin. So it's all very interesting. Indeed, Benjamin set fire to the Moonraker Lodge underground caverns and was himself quickly arrested by Devizes police and slaughtered by the butchers of Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop. Indeed, this process has been going on for years and years. Indeed, Devizes people hate mental patients because mental patients are able to figure out what is going on in Devizes and then expose it. Indeed, I figured out what is going on in Devizes. I figured out that Devizes police were running networks of Kurdish rape gangs, and that M-Gang, i.e. the network of local roadmen, were pimping 12 to 15-year-old girls to these Kurdish rape gangs. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. After I'd figured that out, I then figured out about the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop organ harvesting network. Indeed, it was very interesting how all the several networks of local so-called gangsters who were actually police informants wanted more than anything to work in the butcher's shop, which says a lot about the psyche of the Devizes people. Indeed, I'm pretty sure there is something in the water there that is causing this fixation on slaughtering mental patients and homeless within the Devizes population. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the homeless population of Devizes are a bit suspect also. They seem to have been inculcated with Devizes mentalities. Indeed, the majority, in fact, all of the homeless that are slaughtered at Walter Rose and Sons Butcher Shop are not actually from Devizes. So it's all very interesting indeed. A lot of the homeless in Devizes actually form a part of the police confidential informant network and snitch network that interconnects with Devizes police and basically constitutes an element of the human trafficking ring that Devizes is built on. So it's all very interesting to consider exactly what is going on in that town. And I'm hoping researchers will pick up on these videos and continue my research after I am either killed by the local population of Warminster, which may occur, or die from the residual radiation within my body after 6 years of beaming. Indeed, 6 years of psychotronic microwave radiation beaming is a death sentence. So I probably only have 4 years left to live. And this radiation I was subjected to by Wiltshire Police, who decided on a soft kill mechanism for me, coordinated by the United Grand Lodge of England itself, by networks of a Master Mason of the United Grand Lodge of England, Samuel Buchan, who has networks of at least 400 gang stalkers, implanting false thoughts, memories, and voices into my head. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this network of gang stalkers seem to like to make me spin into a GRU, Russian Military Intelligence psychosis. However, there are so many Russians guilty in the deaths of these 76 mental patients that this makes me very uncomfortable. As I stated, there were many KGB mind control programmers that the MI6 mind control programmers of Roundway hosted for shared research purposes. So it's interesting to consider, indeed, the Russian state treats mental patients abominably. I have much sympathy for Russian schizophrenics. Indeed, the only Russians I'm really curious about are Russian schizophrenics. Indeed, I should probably go deeper into the Russian psychiatric system at some point, which is psychopolitical and involves the persecution of the insane. Indeed, the persecution of the insane is an ongoing saga in the United Kingdom also. Indeed, what with the United Kingdom being run by Freemasons for centuries, the Freemasons have been targeting the paranoid schizophrenic population for a very long time. Indeed, as I've stated, there's much misdiagnosis going on of paranoid schizophrenics, and many lower intelligence people are being diagnosed as paranoid schizophrenic to cover up for Masonic ritual crimes. However, the real paranoid schizophrenic is a highly intelligent person who has visions. So it's all very interesting to note there is a persecution going on of true paranoid schizophrenics by the Freemasons and the psychiatric system, which is itself run by networks of Satanists and Freemasons. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the majority of the MI6 mind control programmers at Roundway Asylum were Freemasons, and the rest were Satanists of various covens that are interconnected with the Freemasons. So it's all very interesting to note, indeed, the majority of KGB programmers that attended shared research at the facility were Satanists also. Indeed, Russian Satanists tend to be some of the worst. They have a certain darkness to their character and a severe hatred of homeless people and mental patients. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I was a junkie when I was in Devizes. People were always shouting crackhead at me in the street. Indeed, this was part of psychological programming that the Devizes people wished to inflict on me. They wished to merely make me out to be a loser in their eyes. When I was working on a project that would eventually expose the Devizes people for what they are, as has now been done. Indeed, I believe several networks in Devizes have decreed a death sentence on me. Indeed, Josh Dowse, PC Josh Dowse of Devizes Police, has decided I need to die for exposing him as a 764 operative, member of the British Police, and rapist of his sister. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, why do I need to die for merely stating the truth about you, Josh Dowse? It's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Devizes people cannot handle exposures, and this is proved by the fact that they murdered 76 mental patients between the years of 1989 and 2001. That's not to also mention the 4,000 mental patients ritually sacrificed in the cloakroom at Roundway Asylum between the years 1949 and 1984. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Devizes are ritually sacrificing mental patients for the Masonic demon gods. And all of this is done in conjunction and in communion with Wiltshire Police, who are running human trafficking rings of mental patients from the former Soviet countries, or if you'd rather say the continuing Soviet countries. Indeed, Wiltshire Police are running a human trafficking network of mental patients from Russia to Devizes and ritually abusing and then ritually sacrificing them, and then selling their body parts and selling their organs on the black market. So it's interesting that thousands of mental patients are being transported every few years from Russia to Devizes and being kept and stored in underground chambers, including those beneath Green Lane Hospital. So it's all very interesting. While I was operating under the name Gromov, I encountered 3 mental patients of Russian heritage while I was walking one night. Indeed, they briefly escaped from an underground chamber owned by the Low Booth family. They told me all about this trafficking ring. So it's all very interesting to consider the Low Booth family of Devizes are heavily involved in the torture and ritual murder of mental patients, mainly of Russian heritage, that are transported by the modern equivalent of a steamship from Vladivostok to Devizes. It's a rather long journey, but this is part of a Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operation involving the slaughter of Slavic and Anglo mental patients to appease the Masonic demon gods of the Germanic tribes. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Low Booth family of Devizes are a Sabbatean family. They're Sabbateans through both the Low and the Booth, i.e. Botha bloodlines. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, they have a direct interconnection with Rupert Lowe, who is an arch Sabbatean, Dom occultist and pederast. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, these networks of interconnected families in Devizes are guilty of crimes against mental patients and homeless people. Indeed, this is an enormous pipeline being run by Wiltshire Police in accordance with directives by the United Grand Lodge of England and statutes of the German Masonic orders, coordinated by Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst operatives, which directly links the Wiltshire police operations to the Bavarian Illuminati. It's all very interesting how all of this links up. How do the Wiltshire police operations link up to the Bavarian Illuminati of 1776? And I believe I've just explained it there. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there now.